is time to check your money. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Good morning, Vicki.
Hi there, George. Good morning. I heard you earlier say that it was a little breezy out. I'm going to tell everybody it's cold.
Okay.
So make sure you dress warmly today. Before I forget, I just want to remind everyone that we are celebrating our 11th annual Black History Month Cabaret event coming up in about 2 weeks on the 24th of this month. And our performer, in case you didn't know this, George, is Marcus Anderson.
I would not. I know.
You know, okay. But I want to make sure everybody who's listening knows because this is a new power. He was with the New Power Generation band with Prince for many years. And when he was here over the summer, we had an amazing time. But you may not know who this year's recipient of the Pioneer Public Service Award is. Have you heard?
No.
This year's recipient is Commissioner Sam Roberts.
Really?
Yes, really.
Long overdue.
I think you're right. Okay, long overdue.
Yeah, because Sam is always in the mix, doing things behind the scenes and just doing the work.
Exactly, doing the work all of these years. So we're honored and pleased that he is going to be the recipient of this year's award. So I'm again encouraging everyone to come out and celebrate with us on the 24th at the Downtown Marriott. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go on to cnyjazz.org. We still have a few available.
We should tell people that Sam Roberts is a former assemblyman, former county legislator as well.
Exactly, and current commissioner for the Department of Disabilities.
Yes.
Okay, for the state of New York.
Yes.
Now, 2 weeks ago, actually, I'm sorry, 3 weeks ago, we started our Freedom Plan, which was to make sure that everyone was saving enough in order to not be part of the statistics of 60% of the American population that didn't have cash.
So they should have $50, and if they
Nope. They should have $75
by now.
So
because it's every week.
Every week.
Yes.
Let's go back and give them the formula. So if you had a household below $60,000, you were saving $25 a week. Between $60,000 and $100K, $50 a week. And over $100K as far as the household income or individual income, $100 a week. So that means right now you either have $75, $150, or $300 in your Freedom Fund plan as far as your liquidity is concerned.
You down with FFP?
You down with FFP? Okay. If you are behind, catch up.
Right.
Because this train is moving.
Yeah, and your point is, you said do whatever you have to do to make that happen. So if that means getting another job, do a little hustle on the side, that's your put aside money, untouchable for 7 months. For
7 months, exactly. Okay. Once we get to the end of the 7 months, then we'll get into phase 2.
Another thing we want you to do with
exactly.
that.
Okay.
I see you, Vicki.
Well, listen, you got to build on things.
I see you.
All right. And 2 weeks ago, I gave you a tip or what we call classically now a hack as far as how to save painlessly money over the years that you can build into your savings account. And that was called the rounding up or rounding down or rounding process.
Right.
Okay? There were some questions about that, so let me just go through the details just for a couple of minutes here. What I said was every time you deposit money into your bank account, you round down the amount so that extra, so if you were putting $100.50 in there, it's only $100. You round down the deposit, and each time you take money out, whether that, no matter what it is, I say write a check, but when you write a check, or if you use your debit card, when you record it, everybody heard me, when you record it, you round up so that the expense is higher. And over time, you will actually automatically, without realizing it, start saving the change.
So said another way, overestimate your expenses, underestimate your revenue. Yeah,
okay, or your revenue.
Yeah, or your income. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. So I'm going to give you a second hack that I use, and this is what's called pocket change.
Okay.
Pocket change is this. I have, over the years, made it a habit that most of the time, say like 99% of the time, I do not spend the change. So if I go and I buy a Coke and it's $1.50 and I hand them $2 and they give me the 50 cents back, I put the change in my pocket, and the next item that I buy, I actually take out paper money and don't give them the change. So what does that do? At the end of the day, when I get home, I take the change out of my pocket and I put it in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
And we save the change.
A lot of people, that's something that a lot of people can relate to with the change.
Absolutely.
But they do it with pennies. You talking about quarters.
I'm talking about change. Okay. So that includes...
There's a lot of penny jars around there, but you want some silver in that thing.
Some silver in the jar. Okay?
Right.
Okay. In fact, at one point, I don't do this quite as often. At one point, I actually separated the dimes from the quarters, but I don't have the time, so I just dump it all together. And at the end of about a year to two, we look at the jars, we roll the money, and we then see what we have. And we use this is a use the money,
right?
But it gives us a way of saving for it. We use the money for something special for the family.
I was going to say, doesn't a lot of the banks and some of these credit unions have the machines that do all that for you?
That's true.
So
okay.
you don't have, but you just like the idea.
When you do it yourself, it has a greater impact.
There's a thing, right? There's a thing.
There is a connectivity to the money.
Yes,
we talked about that before.
I understand what you mean.
So yeah, we could take it to I think Wegmans has one of those change counters.
Right, you put it in there.
And then and all the money comes out. When you do it yourself and get the rolls and then take it to the bank, there is a different impact. And this is a great tool with children, especially if you have kids in the house. Although I still get excited about it.
Rolling money. Huh?
Rolling money. Yes, I do. Okay, rolling money. So what I found over the last 3 years that we saved enough in pocket change and actually to buy a couple of plane tickets to Florida.
Get out.
Yes. Okay, so that was the vacation money. Okay? So think about those two hacks as far as ways to increase your savings. One was absolutely for your liquidity. The other one is for saving for an event or saving for something that we want to buy in the future using pocket change. Well, guess what?
What?
I opened up my bank statement from one of my favorite banks here, and I'm going to give a shameless plug here, Pathfinder Bank. And I looked on Pathfinder Bank's bank statement this month, and guess what they're talking about?
What they're talking about?
Rounding up.
Round it up.
And saving pocket change.
Thank you.
And I said, wonderful.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly. Okay, so just a shameless plug and thank you there to Pathfinder Bank. This week, though, I want to introduce also a new name to our Black History Month Money Moment. And the new name is Rosalind, Rosalind Brewer. She is currently the Chief Operating Officer, you may not know this, for Starbucks. She's one of the most influential Black women in corporate business. According to a recent SEC filing, she has been named to the Amazon board. She is the second African-American woman to sit on the company's board in the last 25 years. She made history in 2012 when she was named as president and CEO of Sam's Club, becoming the first African-American woman to be named as a CEO at one of Walmart's divisions. She announced her retirement in January of this year, joined Starbucks board, and then has been appointed COO of the coffee chain. She's a Detroit native, the youngest of 5 children, graduated from Spelman College in 1984 with a degree in chemistry, and she had a thought at that point in time that she was going to pursue a career in optometry. But during the interview process with Kimberly Clark, she realized that she really wanted to be on the business side. This is what you call having a twist in the middle of a career.
Right.
She then in 2000, and she stayed there for a very, very long period of time, but in 2006, she made a risky career move. She accepted an offer to join Walmart. And if you remember, back in 2006, the company was in transition. They were having some things as far as falling sales, and they were really having some problems with a embattled reputation, particularly around diversity practices. She became tapped. Brewer was tapped to become president of the Eastern Business Unit, running $110 billion in revenue through the management of over 500,000 associates. And then she was installed as the CEO of Walmart's Sam Club, which represents about 12% of the entire business for Walmart. Here's something that happened, though, that I think is most important. When she was installed as CEO, she got a call from one of the most powerful executives in the world, Miss Ursula Burns.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Xerox.
From Xerox. Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Brother know what's up.
All right. Because she said she needed to hear the things that were coming down the pike for her from someone who had already experienced it. And I think it's amazing, and it's a very important lesson. And I heard earlier Gwen Weber-McLeod talking about the fact of emerging leaders. Mm-hmm. As we move forward, we must always bring others with us.
Yeah.
And that's what Ursula
Lift as we climb.
Burns did. Okay. So one of the things that Rosalind said was that she was really surprised. She said she was almost holding her breath when she got the call because she was so stunned because she's idolized her all these years. But what she understood was that when she made this leap, she was more prepared than she ever realized. But if she hadn't jumped, she would have never known. So again, Rosalind Brewer, who now is on the Amazon board, look her up, okay? Get to know her. This is our Black History Month Money Moment for today. And I want to say a couple of things before we close. Number one, review all the things that we've talked about over the last year, 3 months.
Yep.
There's a pop quiz next week.
All right.
So if you need to reach me, feel free to call me at 315-930-4499, extension 102. Or you can reach us at info@brackensfsn.com.
How about that? Vicki Brackens. And there's one more thing you want to say, right? What's your one more thing?
One more thing is our plate is full.
Thank you very much, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens, America's Money Maven. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC.